First invented in 1962 by the company Philips, it is essentially a more compact version of the reel-to-reel tapes more common in the 1940s and 1950s. Although it was not nearly as popular as the vinyl record initially in the 1960s and most of the 1970s, on July 1st, 1979, Sony released its legendary product, the Sony Walkman. Now, music could be used portably, with ease, leading to the cassette tapes becoming the most popular form of physical media due to its compact design and easy recordability. However, with the invention of compact discs, or CDs for short, the compact cassette became outdated in sound quality, and eventually in portability with the invention of MP3 players. As they age, many users are discovering different problems causing people to lose their recordings, such as tape degeneration, dry lubrication, jam reels, or tension problems. Although physical repairs can fix your tapes to a playable quality, they are a temporary solution when it comes to preserving its recordings. On the bottom of all cassette tapes is a small felt pad which is used to put tension on the played tape. Most manufacturers attach this tension pad using simple glue. This glue dries out over time and eventually falls off quite easily. If your cassette is missing a tension pad, it is quite easy to either replace the one lost or reattach the one that has simply fallen off. All that is required is to lift the tape at the bottom to avoid damaging it, put super glue onto the metal plate which the pad is supposed to be on, use tweezers and place the pad onto the plate. If you do not have the tape's pad, you could easily replace it with a cheap set found on the internet or use one from a cassette you do not or cannot use. Another common issue is tape lubrication, or the lack thereof. As tapes age, the lubrication initially applied onto the magnetic tape dries, making it difficult for a machine to play back the recording. This can lead to slower playback or heavily distorted sound quality known as flutter. If you happen to have a tape with dried lubrication, here is a simple solution that can be applied to relubricate the cassette. You will need to use a lubricant in order to relubricate the cassette. Any silicone-based lubricant should be effective. First, apply the lubricant to the head of a Q-tip. If you have a player which gives you access to the tape, wedge the Q-tip in between the tape and the plastic shell holding it through one of the bottom holes. Press the fast forward button and apply light pressure to the Q-tip. After the tape has finished fast forwarding, repeat this process in reverse. After that is done, you can repeat the process again on the second side. It is also a good idea to run through the tape again with a dry Q-tip to soak up any excess lubricant, as too much may damage the tape. Another issue with cassette tapes not playing properly can be caused within the shell of the tape. Inside the tape shell are two pinch rollers that help guide the tape. These can be damaged, leading to the cassette being unplayable. You can then transplant it into another shell of a blank cassette or a spare case. Although, be warned that most pre-recorded cassette shells are not held together by screws, but rather glue. So once open, you cannot close it without using glue or tape. Although the previous methods of repairing cassettes can restore them to a playable state, it is still a temporary solution as the tape will still degrade over time. If you wish to preserve your recordings on cassette tape, the best possible solution is to convert the recordings from analog to digital format, as digital files are easily accessible and cannot be damaged as a cassette could. In order to preserve cassettes on a digital format, you will need a few things: a computer, a recording program, a usable cassette player, and a wire to connect the player to your computer. As shown in this example, first connect your player to the computer so that it can receive the recording. Open your recording program. In this case, I will be using Audacity to record the cassette. Place your cassette into the connected deck. Then click record on the Audacity program. Press play on your cassette deck and allow the cassette to play through in its entirety. Next, flip the cassette onto its second side and record as well. Now that all of your audio is recorded, it's time to separate it into different tracks. First, highlight the first track of your audio and then copy it. Open a new Audacity window and paste it into the new window. Make sure to readjust the starting and ending points of the tape when necessary. Next, click Export under the File tab and export it to your preferred file format. I will be using MP3 for my demonstration. After you title your track, select your preferred sound quality and stereo setting. Next, select a folder to save it to. I will name mine after the album I recorded. You will next get a prompt to fill out the file's information or metadata. After you fill out the information, save it to your file. Repeat this process for all tracks on the album, and you will have a digitized version of your cassette with selectable tracks. Now you know some basics to preserving your own recordings on cassette tapes. Appreciating outdated or irrelevant technology is an important aspect of history that many people look past. If you toss away recordings and information without care, they may be lost forever. Preserving things such as audio and videotapes are an important part of recording history, as the consumer's access to music is more limited in the era of streaming services. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and good luck in your preservation.